of all the hundreds of our friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. But the sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
It's a good question. What did they die for? Did they die for their future generation's children's schools to look like this?
I got into my sixth form, which I thought I didn't get in.
So I got a 7 in computer science, I got a 6 in English language, 6 in English lit, 6 in maths, I got a 6 in chemistry.
Sport study, I got distinction 2. English language, I got a 6. Combined science, I got a 7.7. For maths, I got a 7. And for business, I got a 6.
I mean, just imagine going back to the World War II era and showing those brave men this video and telling them, don't go. This is what you're going to die for. You're going to die so in 2026 young British children can become a minority in their own school system, and then a few years later, the native British people won't even be a majority in their own country anymore. Honestly, do you think they would have got on those boats? It's an absolute disgrace. Anyway, I know one person who has no problem at all with our demographic replacement, and that's of course James O'Brien. This man and the people who listen to him have to be the biggest group of pussies the world has ever seen.
Right,
Go on. You're among friends.
So I've got a,
Yeah, no, you're actually not among friends at all, mate. You're on the internet, and I'm going to ridicule you, just like you deserve.
So I've got a black Jamaican wife.
Yeah.
Right, I'm trying to be focused, James.
Yeah.
We have a guy that used to come to the house and service the lawnmower. He had been to a promotion about some old dancing, old singing new mower.
Okay.
And the person at at this promotion said, from the handle of this lawnmower, you can control everything. And he said, so he's describing what he did at this promotion. Yeah. So he said to me, I know this. He doesn't know that I've got a black wife.
Right.
Okay. And he said to me, I know this is not politically correct, but I stood up and said, oh, do you mean I can even control my N
right.
from the handle of this new lawnmower? I don't think as quickly as I used. I was completely stunned, James, and I sort of carried on the conversation, sort of pretending that I had not heard that.
Yeah, okay.
But once I got back into the house, I mean, obviously I never contacted him again. I didn't want to see him out the front of our house ever again.
Oh yeah, and then you went and locked yourself in a room, got drunk on soy milk, curled up into a little ball, and then cried all night. I mean, dearie me, get a grip of yourself. Either man up and deck the man for insulting your wife, or just shut up and pretend it didn't happen, because crying on LBC like a little girl over how much of a coward you are is pathetic. Like honestly, like what are we even doing here? Some of the men of this generation are so weak, it's unbearable. I mean, it's no surprise we're losing our country when this is the calibre of the people voting in our elections. Like, how embarrassing. But anyway, just after this, James also crashed out about Restore Britain and Rupert Lowe.
We live in a country now where talking about deporting people just for being people who are here legally has become commonplace. We're going to deport people who've currently got every right to be here. We're going to take their right to be here away, and we're going to deport them. What on earth would that be like for a child today?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't care less. Not my problem. I feel bad for the child, and even the people who moved here. But they were brought to this country for decades against our will. We never asked for them to come here, and in fact, we voted for them not to come. But our government did it anyway. So if you want to blame someone, blame every politician who has ever had a hand in the unprecedented betrayal of mass immigration. As a matter of fact, do more than just blame them, put them in prison if you want. I'm fine with that option as well. Either way, it's not my problem, and millions must go.
We're going to take their right to be here away, and we're going to deport them. What on earth would that be like for a child today? If they were to stumble across the wrong or the right headline, if they were to find themselves witnessing a conversation, overhearing a conversation in the kitchen between family members about whether or not we're on this list, whether or not we're likely to be, if someone who is being treated with a relative degree, certainly being treated like a proper politician on Twitter, and sits in the House of Commons, he's talking about deporting millions of people, and you are of foreign extraction, how do you know he doesn't mean you?
Yes, James, millions. Millions must go. Because again, 22.5 million people have been brought to this country since 1980 against our wishes. We voted for them not to be here, but they came anyway. So now, I want the majority of them to go home, and you calling us racist is not going to change that fact. Of course, underneath all the virtue signalling, calling everyone racist, and emotional blackmail, lies the truth of the matter. And that truth is the fact that James O'Brien, and everyone like him who wants mass immigration to continue, never have to deal with the consequences of what they advocate for. Like this as an example.
We want to bring you some breaking news now. We're hearing that an illegal immigrant, Eugenie Niamtu, who's 58, has been jailed for life. This is at the Old Bailey with a minimum term, we're hearing, of 27 years for murdering a man in the UK 3 years after serving a sentence in Romania for a similar murder.
Where's your compassion for the victim of that criminal, James? Are you going to have a little cry on the radio because that illegal immigrant murdered this man? Or is that man and his family just a sacrifice you are willing to make in order to fulfill your anti-British libtard worldview? I mean, what an absolute scumbag James O'Brien is. Speaking of scumbags,
I don't know if you're a football fan, but when Jude Bellingham scored the final goal, I think it was where the third and fourth teams were playing against each other, just felt this huge swell of patriotism, but also being really aware of the narratives, though, of you shouldn't have to score a goal for someone to celebrate your identity. But again, it can be nuanced, and actually I was just really proud that someone of colour was scoring that goal.
I've got news for you, Zach. No one was celebrating his identity. They were celebrating the goal he just scored. You absolute moron.
Right, let's move on, because I'll be talking about this topic a lot more during the course of the day, and we've got other stories to discuss. Now, Suella Braverman made a big speech about reforms, ideas for getting people into apprenticeships and completely, let's say, revolutionising the way that education is done in this country. But more recently today, she has come out and made it explicitly clear that Reform will not be making any deals with Restore or the Tories.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Firstly, who is Suella to say any of that? And secondly, you don't need to make deals if you're just filling your party with Tories anyway.
Exactly. And why should they do a deal with Restore Britain? I think Rupert Lowe has now handed his third private prosecution threats to Nigel Farage. I mean, what, do you think Nigel Farage is going to sit there and go, yeah, love it, let's get back together, woohoo? I mean, I must say on this one, normally I'd be, you know, the first one to say unite the right, but I'm minded to say no, don't.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you there for all sorts of reasons. First of all, if you look at Restore UK, last time I looked, it might be different now, but last time I looked, they were polling on 3 to 4%. Okay. This is after an horrendous couple of weeks in which they were uttering blood libels, genocide libels, I should say, and having to differentiate between ethno-nationalism and neo-Nazism. So I think that...
Well, all of that is total nonsense. Restore have consistently polled at 3 to 4% nationally, because they simply aren't prompted in the polls. When they are prompted, it's closer to about 8%. So nothing at all has changed. And in fact, from what I've seen, everyone seems to be even more united behind Restore Britain after all the establishment attacks. But anyway, please let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and thanks for watching.